Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and it's time for a little bit of a Ranty McRanterson right here. And what is this subject going to be on? It's going to be on your style, clients, people loving you, people hating you, or everything in between. So what do I mean when I talk about style? What I mean is that you formulate your own style of photographs. What are you known for? Can somebody open up a book of work, or can somebody look at work on the wall and say, that's a Jared Polin, that's a Fro photo, Jared took that? You know what? I've heard that a lot. I've heard a lot of people go through work and not even know that it was my photo, or see the watermark and go, you know what? That matches your style. That matches the way that you shoot and process your images. Because I say this all the time, don't forget that photography doesn't stop when you press the button, when you capture the moment. That's only half the battle. The other half of the battle is how you process it. And processing is part of your style. Now, I don't think that you should try to copy what other pros do. I think you should study what all the photographers have done throughout history, see what's made them successful. Take bits and pieces of everything that other people, or that you like from other people, but then mush it all together into your own personal style. What makes you different? What can you tweak? And I can say this, when I first started as a photographer, I didn't know much about the history of photography or what other photographers have done. I studied, say, a guy named Bruce Bennett, who was the hockey photographer. He was NHL photographer. He ended up selling his whole catalog to Getty Images, and I wanted to do what he did. He shot with those Canon white lenses. I wanted a Canon white lens back then. And, you know, I just watched the work they did, and I wanted to try to do the same thing. And when I started shooting the Flyers professionally for a couple of years, and I would hang out with Bruce Bennett and Bruce Bennett's team, and I one day showed them my portfolio from college, which was a hand-printed color. Everything was hand-printed with color. Ground out negative carriers, which means we literally ground out, well, I didn't do it, but somebody filed out the negative carriers so you could see the sprocket holes. And what this meant is that I filled the frame because there was no cropping. Everything you saw was what you got in the print. That's what it was. And these guys didn't know what that was. And I came to realize that, look, they crop everything, and that's their style, and they really didn't understand a lot behind photography. They were just very good at shooting sports. And I took a lot of that, and I realized that, look, I formulated my own style. I've come up with my own way of doing things. I don't crop. That's for me. It may not be for you, but that fits my style. So what I'm saying is, you know, it's okay to look at other people's work. It's a great thing to study other people's work, but take the bits and pieces and formulate your own style. And remember that you shouldn't be I'll stop myself right there. There's no shouldn'ts. There's things that work for you, and there's things that don't work for others. In my opinion, I don't feel that you should send your work away to be processed by somebody else. One, if you're taking too many pictures and that's why you don't want to process your images, maybe you shouldn't take as many pictures. You should try to wait for that moment and capture it. Two, your style is in your processing. Ansel Adams, and I know I've told this story a million times, they say that he was a terrible photographer. He didn't know exposures. He couldn't figure it out. His pictures were so far off, but he was a master in the darkroom. He used to spend hours and hours and hours on one print trying to make that perfect print. He would dodge and burn and do this and do that to every which section. He had 100, 200 different edits he had to make in the processing of an image. And at the very end, he would make a copy print, which was like hitting Control S and saving his processing. So that's important when you formulate your style, is to figure out what works for you and do it. Now let's get to the last thing, which is, do you give the client what they want or what they need? When you're starting out, there's a lot of times where you're just going to give the client what they ask for, what they want. But as you start to become better and formulate your own style, people come to you for what you are great at, for what your style is. Sometimes you have to tell the client no. Sometimes you have to fire clients and be like, no, you know what, this isn't the right fit. I don't think we should work together because we don't fit. I'm not going to be able to meet your expectations because they're either not realistic or they don't match the type of work that I do. So what am I saying? I'm saying that you know, if a client asks you for something and it doesn't fit what you do, you have to make that choice. Are you going to give them what they want or what they need? When somebody comes to me and says, this is what I'm looking for, that's okay. I like to be let loose to do what I need to do to answer their problem, to solve their, or to have a solution to what their problem is and solve their equation, to give them what they may not know they want, but what they need. Because as the professional, it's your job to give them what they need, more so than what they want all the time. And I've learned this from working with top-end professionals in business and entrepreneurs that have built huge multi-million-dollar businesses, is that when they hire me, I go in there and I say, what are you looking for? And they go, you know what, Jared? You're not going to tell me what I should do in my business. Do what you do. Do what you're the best at. And that's all I can ask for, because that's what I hired you for, to do what you do. I know you're good at what you do. Go ahead and do it. Now, that's a blessing and a curse in some situations, because one, I like being able to do what I want to do. Two, sometimes you have to dig a little deeper to make sure you get what they need, because sometimes they don't tell you. You have to get it out of them. What do you need for this photo shoot? All right, dig in. You know, you can't just say, go do your thing, because you may miss some things. Make sure you figure out those things that they need, but also give them things that they never thought that they needed, that you feel that they, you know, well, give them the things that you feel they're going to need to be successful, and then it's okay to fill in with some of the things that they asked for, because that's what you have to do. That makes the client happy. But when you deliver them what they asked for, and then you deliver them something beyond that, something they never ever thought about that just blows their mind, you've done a great job. And that's what I look for. I look to give the client what they need opposed to what they want. You know? You just have to find that happy medium. And I guess the last thing is about people loving you or people hating you. The old saying is, it's better to have 50% of the people love you, 50% of the people hate you, than to have 100% of the people not give a shit. I don't know. Think about that one for a little bit. So that's my Ranty McRanterson right there on style and giving the clients what they need or what they want. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.